Right, good morning. It's Thursday the 7th of May 2020, still in lockdown. And yeah, apologies for not posting regularly. I want to change that soon, although I keep saying that, so we'll see. Yeah, so out in the woods, about 9 a.m. Weird things happening, like tomorrow is a bank holiday. It's VE Day, which they've moved from May Day. Apparently Monday, which would have been May Day, or May the 4th, that bank holiday got moved to a Friday bank holiday to celebrate VE Day, which seems weird and kind of oddly dystopian. You know, I've got no problem with people feeling pride in who they are and where they come from and all that sort of thing. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong necessarily with a small amount of patriotism. But when you move sort of like a big socialist themed holiday, I mean, yeah, fair enough, it was socialist themed as a result of all sorts of things like various revolutions and uprisings of workers, and they've moved it to a well done, you did everything we told you to do, even though it led to your deaths 70 years ago. So yeah, it's a bit weird. I'm always leery of patriotism when it's rolled out on a grand scale, because generally it's always used to sort of signify that you know, the people of one nation are somehow better than the people of another nation. That's not something I subscribe to. Yeah. So I feel like I'm coming out of a funk. You know, it's like that long slough. I think isolation makes you examine your life. And yeah. But to be honest, you know, even those people that we think are superhuman also are kind of lacking. You know, they've all got things that they did. But don't subscribe to it. I'm at full volume. So apologies if the sound is too low. I'll see if I can correct it when I come to edit this particular video. Now, I've got quite a lot of stuff to shoot today. I've got quite a lot of stuff to be getting on with and do. You know, various things. I think I've broken the back of tidying the studio. I've just only been lazing around wondering what it's all for. And you can't really do that, because other people have done that heavy lifting for you. You know, it's seems pretty important at the time, but it's largely masturbatory, in that you didn't have any control about where you were born, or largely any of the things that happened to you. Birds are singing real loud this morning. You know, the only choices you had was how to react, and how you reacted was based on, you know, all the circumstances of your life and all the things that you learned. You reacted in a logical way, as far as you were concerned, every single time, because we all react to stimulus in different ways. So yeah, so if you do really want to change your life, the very first thing you've got to do is say to yourself, I'm here considering this change in my life based on previous me. And I wasn't entirely satisfied with previous me. However, what previous me did do was bring you to this point where you can make some more logical decisions about how your life could change. So yeah, you can thrash around with that one all you like, but essentially you have the power to change how you react to things at any time in your life. So yeah, the Ramsons are out. Wild garlic. You've never seen it before. It's that stuff. You can you get some nice clean leaves. You can the stuff with the white flowers there. Get some nice clean leaves. You can make a salad, and it will taste quite garlicky, sort of like garlic and spinach. You can add it to rice. You can wilt it. You can dig up the roots and use them. as you would garlic. It's handy stuff. So yeah, and it smells nice as well. It's a nice garlicky, flowery fragrance on the air. So yeah, you know, if all your previous self and all your randomized decisions are not random, they're perfectly logical depending on what you want to do and how you've reacted in the past. So you need to draw a line under your life. Just go, right. You know, it's a bit like the Desiderata. There we go. You know, Lord grant me, you know, power over the things I can change and allow me to accept the things that I can't and have the wisdom to know the difference. It's part of the Alcoholics Anonymous pledge. So you really can't do a great deal about how you acted in the past. And I've done some shameful things that I'm ashamed of, and everybody else has as well. Everybody you look at has taken a decision that later on they've regretted. And you can't do anything about that. Can't do anything. You can apologise to the people that you've hurt, and that should be best practice anyway, and learn from the things where you got hurt without taking it out on other people unconnected to the aggravation in your life. You know, you can say, this is what is. You know, am I dead? No. Am I incapacitated or otherwise unable to move on with my life? Physically, no. Still carrying around a few mental blockages and stuff like that. There's always going to be a few things that freak you out, and there might always be, but you can choose how you react to a lot of that stuff. So yeah, so I think every so often you've got to do that. I don't think it's you have a midlife crisis and you completely change. I think it's, you know, you sort yourself out as best as you can in order to be as happy as possible and do as little harm as possible. And we can all make incremental changes in our lives that will make them better. So yeah, so you've got to be able to draw a line, you know, make some changes. Because nobody that did all the cool stuff was a decent human being, and we somehow still believe that only a really, really good human being can make any changes for the better. So yeah, you know, you're still going to be remembered for the things that you did wrong as often as for the things that you did right. And you really don't have a lot to do with that. You know, a lot of the reasons we act is we're afraid. You know, core fears like afraid of dying, you know, afraid of people we care about dying, and there's nothing we can do about that. Everybody's going to die at some point in an undetermined way, in ways that you can't imagine right now. And you know, a lot of philosophers will say things like meditation is preparation for death. And yeah, probably it is. It's making peace with all the factors that you can't control, getting them to all be quiet for a minute, allowing your thoughts to dissipate just for a moment, and yeah, and then you move on. There's a very good podcast stroke TV show, I don't know which it is, called Midnight Gospel, and I recommend everybody check it out. It's a good piece of good philosophical workout for everybody. Go to the mind gym. So yeah. And you know, that's made me sort of think, yeah, you can only improve small bits. You can only get better. You know, but if you could improve your life by 5% today, even if it's just tidying your house or mowing the lawn or doing the washing up or handling the laundry or getting a shower or feeling sort of more woken up and stuff, that's your life 5% better than it was going to be. If you make that 5% into a habit, it's really not going to take very long before you're, you know, 100% more effective. I mean, you'll be twice as effective at doing what you want to do with your life. And we all have to trade bits of it away for other things or things that we want, like work, sleep. We have to trade some of that away. But then, you know, it's doing useful and interesting stuff in the remainder of the time, and maybe some of that useful and interesting stuff will benefit other people. So yeah. But, you know, it's like this idea of the culture as an alternative way to exist on planet Earth. It might not work, probably won't. But, like a lot of other people who fought for civil rights, people who fought for, you know, workers' benefits, people who fought for fair treatment of workers, if I may, you know, that idea of the workers' revolution. All those people were just ordinary people with faults and failings, as well as talents and abilities, and they moved it on, even if it failed, by a step or two. So we really owe, you know, the whole of humanity contributes to movements forward, even if they don't know it. It's everybody. Right now that's 7.5 billion people are all contributing, you know, to the way this all goes. And all those contributions, all those attitudes, all those reactions, all those statements, all those conversations, and all the sharing of information all leads forward, and it looks like just a few people make a massive difference. And that's not true, it's all of them. So if you want to see a change in the world and you can see a way that it can be better, just pushing for it, just changing the conversation will edge us towards that goal. Just one notch job. Talking to people in the to himself in the woods can change how that's going to work. See where I'm going with that? So, I am going to push on with the culture. I have ideas for videos, I have time currently, which was the thing I was bitching about, and I have time and money. Not a great deal of money, but I've managed to achieve some of the things. So yeah. But the culture is all about disconnecting from, you know, the harmful paradigms that are boxing in humanity's future and reducing our options to the benefit of a few people that just, you know, don't know that it could be better, or can't believe that it could be better, and believe that in the absence of it being better, they might as well make themselves more comfortable. And I get that. Very tempting. But it's not really long-term survival type stuff. And all those people that did all those things, that made changes but still failed, you know, like the Black Panthers ultimately failed, although they pushed things forward. You know, they made that change. They gave an example of how things could be, you know, at least philosophically better for people like them. So now we need an option. You know, there needs to be a mainstreamed option for people that don't want to be worked until they die, that don't think money's all that important, you know, that want to share resources and optimise how that works. So yeah, even if we have to make it a bit of a game. I mean, some of the more effective collectives were very, very hard to pin down, which makes it very, very hard for them to be stopped. You know, that's why I think that, you know, maybe running the culture like a post-apocalyptic live-action role-playing simulator in real life would be the way to go. Because, you know, giant corporations don't really try and hone in on streams of entertainment. That's why you get punk rock. That's why you get, you know, punk rock collectives, indie record labels, independent filmmakers. You know, that creation of culture is kind of left to its own devices in the realms of law and stuff like that. So maybe we need to make it a form of entertainment, like the KLF and artists. Magic word, that. Most useful thing that the Chaos Bunny ever said to me. The magic word is artist, and perhaps that's what we need to be. So in view of that, I'll be doing a few mini documentaries on people that I think are important and people I think that are worth looking into. So yeah, got a lot to do this week. I'm going to get on with it. Speak to you soon. Hopefully I'll get another vlog out there ASAP. Take care and thanks for watching. And where am I going? Who's coming with me? And never get the order messed up. Later.